Hello again, Corbin here from Plan Pack Stay. We had the chance to visit one of the most iconic mountains in the United States, Pikes Peak. Right here in the beautiful state of Colorado, it is known as America's Mountain, and it has inspired everything from poems to car races, and we got to experience it all. So join us for a long scenic drive up the mountain. So, what makes Pikes Peak so special? Standing tall at over 14,115 feet, this mountain has been a landmark for explorers, settlers, and dreamers for centuries. Back in the 1800s, pioneers moving west used the slogan "Pikes Peak or Bust" during the Colorado Gold Rush, since the mountain was one of the first big landmarks they saw on their journey across the plains. And in 1890, Catherine Lee Bates stood at the summit and was so moved by the panoramic view of the Rockies, rolling plains, and endless skies that she wrote the famous song "America the Beautiful." Pikes Peak is one of Colorado's most visited mountains, attracting close to 1 million people every year, making it not only one of the most famous 14,000-foot peaks in the Rockies, but also one of the most accessible. There was plenty to do up there, besides just sightseeing. We could have hiked the challenging Barr Trail, which stretches about 13 miles one way from Manitou Springs, and climbs over 7,000 vertical feet. Definitely a test of endurance, but driving seemed a whole lot nicer. The scenic drive up the Pikes Peak Highway seems like a never-end winding switchback with incredible overlooks, picnic spots, and pull-offs to snap photos. So take your time, because you will want to stop at every pull-off. Each one is unique and beautiful. For thrill seekers, there's nothing quite like the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. Since 1916, racers from all over the world have been testing their limits at the so-called Race to the Clouds. They speed up 12.4 2 miles of road with over 156 sharp turns, climbing nearly 5,000 vertical feet in less than 10 minutes. Our drive seemed scary enough, seeing as there were barely any guardrails up this mountain. I cannot imagine racing it. I mean, I'd love to watch that, but I think just watching on the TV is enough for me. To get up to the peak, we had a couple of options. We drove ourselves on the Pikes Peak Highway, which cost about $15 per adult or around $50 per carload, depending on the season. The road itself is a 19-mile paved highway that takes you all the way to the summit, but the experience is in the journey itself. The multitude of scenic pull-offs were absolutely stunning. We didn't get the chance, but you can also explore small lakes and cool spots where you can fish or hike other short trails. The drive for us took about an hour from the base to the top, especially since we couldn't resist stopping at a few overlooks to just take it all in. Another option available was the COG Railway. This train is one of the highest railways in North America, and it climbs nearly 9 miles to the summit, giving you views you just won't get from a car. The ride is about 70 minutes each way, which makes it an easy and comfortable way to experience the mountain. Along the way, we were surrounded by stunning alpine beauty. At lower elevations, we drove through forests of pine, spruce, and aspen, which were alive with birds chirping and the occasional spooky fog patches. Now always be scanning the trees and hillsides, because locals talk about Sasquatch wandering the slopes. Myth or not, Bigfoot may be alive and well in these mountains. Of course, we didn't see him, but we kept our cameras ready just in case. As we climbed higher, the trees thinned out and gave way to rocky tundra with low-lying plants and bright wildflowers clinging to the slopes. We kept an eye out for wildlife, but only saw a couple elk. Other wildlife to look out for include marmots, bighorn sheep, mule deer, black bear, and what we were really bummed not to see: moose. The views stretched endlessly across the Rockies, and we were stunned to learn that on a clear day, you can see as far as Kansas. It felt like standing on the top of the world as we began to reach the base of the clouds. However, one thing we definitely weren't prepared for was the elevation change. At over 14,000 feet, the air was much thinner, which meant less oxygen to our bodies. Even simple things like walking around or climbing stairs at the summit felt more like running a marathon. Sadly, we only were able to spend about 30 minutes at the peak before feeling our lungs tested to the limits as well. With altitude sickness, you can experience headaches, dizziness, nausea, or just feeling out of breath, we made sure to take it slow, stay hydrated, and not push ourselves too hard. It's wild to think that professional athletes actually come to this area to train at high altitude because it forces their bodies to adapt and makes them stronger at lower elevations. Once we finally reach the top, you can see the bare boulders covered in snow. You can definitely feel the temperature change, and with the higher winds, definitely be prepared with a jacket. The views are absolutely one of a kind, and looking out above the clouds, you just feel like you can fly. We got to see the cool cog train chugging up the mountainside. The Pikes Peak Summit Visitor Center has huge panoramic windows that let you take in the views without stepping out into the wind and cold. Check out their gift shop for unique Pikes Peak memorabilia. After what seemed like a once-in-a-lifetime scenic drive up Pikes Peak, we gotta take the same road down. So if you missed a view up, you will certainly get it coming down too. Pikes Peak is a mountain full of history, adventure, and literally jaw-dropping views. Whether you drive, hike, bicycle, or ride the Cog Railway, it's an experience that should be on everyone's bucket list. Check out our other cool videos on Colorado, where we check out the best adventure spots in the state. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next adventure. Like and subscribe to our content, and check out our website at planpackstay.com for more travel information and gear.